Welcome to Lucky Day 13. Today we're gonna pause as we broke into Act 2, and what I want you to do is, write if you want to write. Keep writing if you're motivated and you're feeling it. But I do think that every once in a while it's good to take a break, reassess, roll things around in your head a bit, so that when you go and face the blank page tomorrow, you're fueled up. And so now I want you to go back to that outline. I want you to outline the first half of Act 2, the conflict. Okay, this is going to be everything up to the midpoint. You're just going to plot out this first group of scenes and get us all the way to the midpoint of the movie, which is going to shift us into the second half of Act 2. What Act 2 is really made up of is a series of escalating obstacles. Okay, so a series of escalating obstacles, that is what's happening in Act 2. And so what you need to figure out is you're going to play the game of pretending you're the antagonist and figuring out what obstacles you could throw at the protagonist, or figuring out what the forces of antagonism have in store for our protagonist. And you're just going to come up with a list of those obstacles. In this first half of Act 2, we're getting the movie we wanted, right? This is the movie we came to see. So if it's Indiana Jones, he's, chasing down the lost Ark. If it's Lady Bird, we're watching Lady Bird and her various attempts to change her identity and play with new identities. If it's, Breaking Bad, we're watching Walter White first initial steps into becoming a drug dealer and facing the obstacles along the way. What you want to think about in this scene where you have your character facing a series of escalating obstacles is that you want these obstacles not to be episodic. And here we're going to use a little trick called therefore and but. Therefore, but, popularized by the guys from South Park.
We've found out this really simple rule that maybe you guys have all heard before, but it took us a long time to learn it. But we can take these beats, which are basically the beats of your outline, and if the words "and then" belong between those beats, you're basically. You got something pretty boring. What should happen between every beat that you've written down is either the word therefore or but.
Your obstacles throughout the story must not feel episodic. They must not feel like, and this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and this happens. Instead, what we want to be able to say is, this happens, and therefore, because of this, this happened, but, right? And a little more specific, what it basically means is, therefore means this didn't work, so we got to try something else. Like, for instance, in Lord of the Rings, and the wind is about to blow us off the mountains, and so they can't make it across the mountains. So therefore, they go into the mines of Moria. In the mines of Moria, they meet some orcs, and they beat them, right? So therefore means we failed, and we have to try a new way to get what we want. A but means we succeeded, but a new problem has arisen. So what you're going to do is you're going to brainstorm a bunch of the obstacles all the way up to the midpoint, and then make sure that they're not episodic. Make sure that therefore and but part of it, that they're leading to each other in an interesting way. And tomorrow we will get back to writing Act 2. Thanks.